Well, good afternoon to everyone. We had a little bit of an off weekend after our Thursday night game right there, so it was a restful weekend for our guys to kind of get their bodies and their feet back up under them. Coming off a tough loss last Thursday evening to a ranked opponent in Louisiana, and we did everything but win the game, and that's the disappointing part. We had an opportunity, I thought, in all three phases to win that football game. Offensively, of course, with our last drive. Defensively, of course, with their last drive. And then, the punt, it was just, not a well-executed punt of 22 yards that allowed them to kind of go in and score one of their touchdowns there late. So that was the unfortunate part. We've got to be able to finish those games. We talk all along about starting fast and finishing strong. And, I'm not sitting here and saying we didn't finish strong, but it was like we played 57 of the 60 minutes, and we played 57 of those minutes really well, and just the last 3 minutes got away from us. But we've got a good Coastal Carolina team coming up. It's 2:00 this Saturday. Another ranked opponent. I believe they're 21st in the coaches poll and have been ranked for 22 consecutive weeks now. So they're a pretty solid football team, and we've got to go out there and play our best. It's another conference game, which is always a must. You always want to win those conference games, and we're looking forward to a great matchup.
Thanks, Coach. At this time, we'll take questions from members of the media. As a friendly reminder, if you can keep yourself on mute until asking your question, we would appreciate it. Go ahead with questions for Coach.
How you doing, Coach? Good to see you. And I know you guys played your hearts out on Thursday against a talented Louisiana team. Now, you guys, when you look at these games against ranked opponents that you guys nearly had to win against, such as Auburn and Louisiana, you guys offensively seem to kind of struggle after getting out to a good start against these teams. Is it something about the offensive execution that's kind of lacking against these teams, or is it more of the defenses adjusting to you guys that prevents you from getting in a rhythm offensively?
I'm trying to understand your question. Did you say, did we get off to a fast start offensively and then kind of slow down?
Oh, I meant more of like you guys seemingly kind of get into a rhythm, maybe to start off the game, and then it kind of stalls after a while against, kind of like Auburn and Louisiana. Is that more?
Yeah, at Auburn, we just started off really, really, crisp and sharp, and we did everything well. And, there in the second half, we missed some opportunities. We throw a little flare out there. Our back, and he trips and falls and late in the game, and weren't able to put the points on the board that we had liked. That's attributed to both sides of the ball, them defensively and us not executing offensively. And then against Louisiana, it was kind of the opposite. I mean, it was a 3-0 ball game, and you felt like you were moving the football, and then you come out and put a couple drives together, put a couple touchdowns together. And you're sitting there up 10-0, and then we have 2 consecutive punts in a row. They kind of held us back, and then we take a drive there at the end, the last drive, and go 16 plays and 16 straight runs, and one was a scramble. It was just what we were trying to do, and it was what we were able to do and be successful in running the football. So, I don't know if it was any adjustments or anything that Louisiana made last week to kind of halt the offense. That we were running the ball effectively. We thought we were controlling the line of scrimmage, which I still, to this point, still think we would. And we've got to put some more air in the ball. When I say air in the ball, we've got to throw it downfield a little bit more. We've got talented receivers, and we've got to take advantage of those guys, down the middle of the field, on the perimeter, right there on the outside edges, and we've got to stretch this thing out. Right now, we're playing the game of football in like a 10-by-10 box, and still able to move the ball, but it's at 4 and 5 yards a clip. But we've got to get some explosive plays.
Coach, I want to ask you about that third game a little bit. In the second half, I know on the TV broadcast, go back and rewatched it. Looked like Darren was a little banged up. His ankle didn't really set his feet too much, and I think he was like 1 for 9 in the second half there. Is there anything kind of that you guys have talked about on the sidelines? Obviously, quad leaving during the week, so that kind of eliminates a guy with starting experience. But is there anything that you guys could do in the pass game to kind of help him out there, or is it just something that he just needs to make throws?
Yeah, he wasn't banged up. I call it hot feet. He had a little bit of hot feet. Sometimes he felt pressure that wasn't there, and sometimes there was some pressure there. But we've got to give him a better pocket. We've got to make sure it's crisp and clean, and we've got to give him easier reads. When I say easier reads, something that can easily be defined and executed early in his progression. And we've got to do it. We've got to do it in a hurry. We addressed that this morning briefly in our team meeting. What we had to do better offensively, and certainly we've got to throw the ball better. We're all in agreement on that because we've got some talented receivers outside that, they're doing a lot of blocking right now, and they should be doing a lot more catching.
Any additional updates on Cornelius McCoy or Bryce Brown? I know that neither one of those guys saw the field Thursday night.
Yeah, I think they're on target to be back. Of course, we did not practice today, run and lift today on Monday, and they are on target to participate this week in practice, and I think they're going to be good to go this Saturday.
Coach, I just wanted to ask, it's been since Thursday since the loss, and you talked post-game about making sure that this loss didn't beat you 2 times. So just where's the team at as you stay on Monday or game week?
I thought it was really good this morning. It was attentive, sometimes the time is helpful. And I didn't bring them in here on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. And I really didn't. I could have been, one of those coaches said, "Oh, we're coming in here. We're going to watch the film on Friday. We're going to meet on Saturday and practice on Sunday." And, all that good stuff. And, it's good to get away. You got to clean your head. You go fight like that and it doesn't come out your way. You got to get away for a second. It's good for us all to get away. And I think everybody was in the right frame of mind this morning in our team meeting.
And then what are you seeing from this Coastal team, especially on the offensive side of the ball?
Offensively, they can run the football. Certainly, the quarterback makes them go. Grayson McCall makes them go. But they've got a stable of running backs, and they've got a really good scheme. They run various running type plays. They've got the belly G. They've got the midline option. They've got the power play. We've got to stop those things. We've got to contain their rush game. But Grayson makes it all go. He makes the bad plays into great plays. You watch that App State game, and there's some of his throws. They're no looks or shovel passes, and just making things happen out of nothing. He's a great football player, and that we're not going to change that. He's still going to be a great football player.
Coach Antley with another pick Thursday. I know we've been talking about several weeks in a row. It looks like he's really, really getting comfortable back there. Another strong performance in the secondary.
Did a great job. Another interception. Our stops on downs. I treat those just like turnovers. If we continue to do that, we're going to be pretty hard. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for offenses against us to bow up like we have and continuously play in those 4 downs in a row. And then Tay Lane, he just gets his hands on footballs and creates those turnovers and creates sparks for us. Very proud to see him continuously progress, and he's playing better and better every single week.
Hey, Coach, you guys had a 3-sack game on Thursday. Talk to me about the progression of seeing this pass rush kind of step up, and what and how big it will be to get pressure on Coastal Carolina team that's kind of iffy at quarterback with injuries.
Well, I think pressure in any passing situation is key. You've got to have your front 4. If you can get there with 4 with great pressure and push, then that certainly helps everyone out. Your back end defenders, your corners and man-to-man coverage, whatever that we can do. If we can get there with our down lineman, or sometimes adding on a linebacker, it's always good for us. It doesn't matter who really plays the game at quarterback. If you get great push, it's always going to disrupt something. When you watch a guy like McCall play the quarterback position, that push can create some things for him, create him to run, or it can create him to make a no-look pass like he did against, like I said, App State, and it turns into a 4 or 5 yard pass, and the next thing is a 60-yard touchdown throw. but we've got to do a better job. And I think we have done a better job. I think containing the quarterback is the most important thing. There's one thing about getting after the quarterback, is containing the guys and keeping them in the pocket to deliver some of the bad throws. I think a lot of quarterbacks, for whatever reason, as the pocket collapses, they tend to get tense. If they can ever escape the pocket, that tension is relieved a little bit, and then they can find some open receivers. So we've got to continue to push the pocket, but also keep them good to contain.
Any other questions for Coach?
Coach, wanted to talk to you, asked specifically about the matchup last year. Obviously, was tilted big time, kind of an outlier in my view of the 2020 schedule being so one-sided there. How much do you guys focus on that or talk about that at all? I know that was obviously a homecoming game that was 51-0. So, is it one of those situations where you just kind of throw it and dump it, flush it, or can you use some of that and say, hey, look, we were kind of knocked down at home and we want to do the same to them?
Oh, well, I mean, I typically don't refer to last year's ball games, but with that contest being so lopsided, I think after the first two possessions, it was over. I mean, we take the ball down, drive it really well, miss a field goal. They take the ball down. We have a substitution problem on a punt return call where I had to call timeout. Then they go for it on fourth down and score the touchdown. And at that point, it was like somebody popped a balloon. So in our team meeting today, I referred back to it and just exactly what it felt like and how they did it. And I just want everyone to kind of remember it. It's not something I'm going to dwell on. It's not something I'm going to talk about. But when you get beat at home like we did a year ago, you don't forget that. And those guys that were in that meeting today, that were in that locker room a year ago, they didn't forget that. Now, we're not going to go out there and say, hey, we got to do it because they beat us 51-0 last year. It's just a little way to kickstart their Monday morning. And so I threw out a few of those things to them.